It's that time again. And as I said before, it is another day, another reaction video coming to you by yours truly, Sean Laurie. What's up, guys? How are you doing? Hey, so first of all, thank y'all so much for the love and the support. You guys are absolutely incredible. You guys are the reason why I get up every day and do this, because I enjoy it, but I know you guys are enjoying it as well. So with that said, we're going to do something a little different today. Now remember, for those that have been around since the very first reaction video, which was just a few days ago, I made sure you guys understood that I wasn't only going to react to music, okay? Even though music is a huge part of my life, I love music. I've always loved music. I'm not only going to focus on music, okay? I'm going to focus on veterans, focus on inspirational videos, anything that I find that is beneficial and positive to the community, or is just something that I think is incredible, okay? So this channel will have a whole bunch of different, occasionally different videos. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are into politics. I'm not huge into politics, but I do have this thing where I love my brothers and sisters. And for you guys that don't know, I am a combat veteran. I served 9 years in the military. I did a couple tours in Afghanistan. And so I'm a huge advocate for our veterans, okay? If you didn't know, we're losing veterans every day to mental health, to addiction. We got millions of homeless veterans on the streets. It's a huge epidemic out here. Now, with that said, I found a video. And I've been talking about this for a long time, but I've actually got proof now. I got the video now showing where Lisa McClain from District 9 out of Michigan talks about the homeless epidemic and veteran. So Lisa McClain from District 9 out of Michigan talks about the homeless epidemic and the veteran homeless epidemic, and she talks about how much money we're giving to illegals versus how much we're giving to our homeless veterans. And it's going to blow your mind. It's going to absolutely make you sick, because if you love your veterans, then you're going to understand why we fight so hard. Now, I have seen some of this video, but I wanted to share this with you guys anyways, because this is real life, okay? Even if you're not into politics, this is our country, right? This is our veterans we're talking about here. We're sending all this money to illegals, and we're not taking care of people at home. So anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's go.
Now 5 minutes to the gentlelady from Michigan, Lisa McClain.
I see a trend going here, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I think it's interesting that you have all the Republicans asking questions right now, so I appreciate this hearing, Mr. Chairman. Clearly, we care, and I know you do. I know we've talked about the numbers, but I think it bears repeating. The federal government spent over $66 billion on illegal immigrants in 2023. According to the Federation for American Immigration. Does anyone here want to guess how much we've spent on homeless veterans?
First of all, before we even get into it, think about that number. Think about that number, y'all. $66 billion. America is spending $66 billion last year on illegal aliens, y'all. People coming over here illegally. They're spending $66 billion. All right. Just that. Okay. Just that. But let's see how much we're spending towards our own veterans.
Friends in 23. Guess? High. Well, let's just start. Higher, lower, the same. Anybody want to guess?
Fractional.
Fractional. Thank you. 3 billion. 66 on illegals. 3 billion on people who have laid down their lives for this country. Can anyone explain up there why that makes sense?
Well, one is including all sorts of benefits, and one is just looking at a very, very narrow slice.
No, I'm using the same numbers.
So you always see there'll be somebody that'll come out here and be like, well, that's, we don't have veterans in the Census Bureau, so we don't really know the numbers. And what else is he going to say? Oh, that's not really including the benefits and blah, 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 blah. Dude, we're spending $66 billion on illegal immigration. Okay, we're spending $3 billion on veterans. I mean, what else is there to explain? How about just understand? How about just say it? This administration doesn't care about veterans. They never have. They never will. All they care about is votes. And when you are a president, or if you are in an administration, when the only thing you care about is votes, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to get those votes, I'm not voting for you. I'm not voting for somebody that will do anything in the world just for votes. If it's not for the American people, then I don't want to hear it. Period.
Sir, you are. I am using apples
It would
to
be a very
apples.
different
I'm using apples to
calculation.
apples. So since you know, why don't you share with me?
We don't
Oh,
track
you
U.S.
don't know.
We don't check
You don't
track
know.
U.S.
Okay.
veterans in the census, so that would be very helpful if we did. Then I would be
Yeah,
able to
we
give you
did.
a
But
very
do you know
good-
the answer? Because
good-
I do. I do. So I appreciate your opinion of which you have no facts on. But let me continue and let me educate you some more. The federal government, breaking that $66 billion down, let's look at what we fund. So you might want to get a pencil and paper and take some notes because I'll help you do your job.
All right, guys.
5.8
So right here,
billion
right
in
here.
SNAP.
Let me rewind it. But this is where they're going to actually tell you where this money's going. And it's going to blow your mind when you figure this out, when you actually hear this.
5.8 billion in SNAP, 10 billion in Medicare, 8.2 billion in uncompensated hospital expenditures, 3 billion for primary and secondary education for illegal immigrants, excuse me. And how many illegal immigrants are given taxpayer-funded housing compared to the number of homeless veterans that are sleeping on the street? You don't know because you don't want to know. You don't want to see the numbers. Well, I do, and I can share with you the American people do. Because I'll share with you, the people in my district, in Michigan, of the 9th District, we care about our homeless veterans. We care about our veterans. And yes, we care about them a little bit more than we care about people who have broken the law to get here illegally. So I actually have some.
So I just want to go ahead and remind you guys really quick. When we talk about illegal aliens, like, we're not talking about people that come over here, sign the papers, do the classes, do everything you got to do to become an American citizen. That's not the fight. That's not the fight, y'all. The fight isn't that we're trying to stop people from coming to America. The fight is that we are trying to do it legally. Okay? Legally. If you break into this house, if you break into my house, I can have you arrested for breaking an entry. If you break into a hospital, a school, anything, if you break in, if you are in without permission, that is illegal. You can go to jail for it. Same as our country, and same as any other country. If I just walk across the border in Canada, I could be arrested. If I just walk across the border in Mexico, I could be arrested. Okay? Same as here. If you walk across the border into America without doing it properly, you can be arrested. It's against the law. Okay? So basically what she's saying is that we would rather spend that $66 billion on our veterans here in America than spend $66 billion on people that have broken the law. Okay? Let's just continue this here.
Suggestions and maybe some answers on how to fix it. Instead of $66 billion, here are a couple things we could spend. The White House has requested $13 million for the National Call Center for homeless veterans. I'm going to say it again, $13 million with an M, right? Maybe we could find that out of that $66 billion, right, different between million and billion, big difference, we could funnel some more of that $66 billion to our homeless veterans. Anyone opposed to that? Why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing it? Anybody got an idea?
I do. I got an idea. And my idea is votes. It's because they don't want to, right? They don't want to fund our veterans. They don't want to fund the police. They don't want to fund things that matter here in America, in our country, right? They don't want to fund America. They want to fund Ukraine. They want to fund every other country. They want to fund illegals. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Like I said, I'm not huge in politics, but I have certain beliefs and certain things that I think are morally right. You know, if my family all lives here in this house, then I'm going to take care of those that are in my house, right? I'm not going to take care of the house next door before I take care of the people here in my house. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Anybody got an idea why we're not, God bless you, why we're not doing it? I'll tell you why we're not doing it, because the Biden administration does not want to do it. Am I correct? Am I incorrect on that?
Just said that.
I didn't think so. This year's budget request from the White House asks for $17.2 billion in mental health spending for veterans. That $10 billion we lose to Medicare spending would surely benefit to struggle with the mental health issues. So why don't we do this? America's a very charitable country. Why don't we take care of our own first? Anyone see a problem with that? Why don't we?
Great question. Why don't we? Why don't we, America? Why don't we take care of home first? Okay, listen, it's okay to spend money and help other people. Like I was giving that example about your house and the next house. If the people next door are struggling and they need some food, they need a little bit of money, they need some help, then dude, there's nothing wrong with helping them out. But when you don't have enough here at home, you can't afford to help them. Okay? And I'm sure as hell not going to let my family go hungry while I feed them next door. Take care of home first, then we can take care of our neighbors.
I'll tell you why we don't. Because the Biden administration doesn't want to do that. It's maddening to me. The White House budget requested for caregiver support programs not $2.9 billion. Maybe instead of $3 billion for educating illegal immigrants, we can give more funding to caregiver support programs, right? We're all talking about both sides of the aisle, which ironically doesn't even want to participate in this hearing, sadly, but not unexpected. We all talk about caregiving is a problem, right? I hear that on both sides of the aisle. What would happen if...
I was a little confused there. Let me go back to that. She said who wasn't there?
We all talk about caregiving is a problem, right? I hear that on both sides of the aisle. What would happen if we took that $3 billion and all talking about both sides of the aisle, which ironically doesn't even want to participate in this hearing, sadly, maddening to me. The White House budget requested for caregiver support programs not $2.9 billion. Maybe instead of $3 billion for educating illegal immigrants, we can give more funding to caregiver support programs, right? We're all talking about both sides of the aisle, which ironically doesn't even want to participate in this hearing, sadly.
That's weird.
But not unexpected. We all talk...
Must be talking about the Democrats. I mean, she said there was a bunch of Republicans at the beginning asking questions, and she was grateful for that. I mean, you know what? If Democrats aren't involved in this conversation, then that just proves our point even more. Just proves our point even more.
About caregiving is a problem, right? I hear that on both sides of the aisle. What would happen if we took that $3 billion and gave it to caregivers that live in the United States? Anyone have a problem with that? Why don't we do it?
Y'all may not know how important caregivers are, but they are very important. Even in the veteran community is very important. We have veterans that have come back from combat that are literally struggling with mental health, struggling with anxiety, struggling with physical problems, you know, loss of limbs, stuff like that. And they have people that stay home and take care of these veterans. They're called caregivers. Now, if you don't pay these caregivers, they're not going to be able to afford to stay home and take care of their husbands or take care of their wives or take care of their family or their dad or their brother or their sister. So we need to give them money to help them take care of their family, especially veterans. Not only veterans, but especially veterans.
Anybody? The Biden administration doesn't want to do it. And you play games with your facts. And you play this shell game. Well, I'm going to share with you, the American people are not fooled, and they are frustrated and fed up with it. Let's just be honest about where this money is going so we possibly can redirect it to the correct place. Let's start with our veterans. Thank you, and with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I think the
So there you go, guys. There you go. Thank you so much for hanging out. For those that stuck with me through the video, I know, like I said, learning about what's going on in this country so you guys can actually see both sides and understand why this side's angry and why this side's angry. Listen, I'm not the type of person where I'm going to sit here and just, focus on one side. I look at both sides and figure out what's right and what's wrong. Guys, you got to take care of home first. I don't even understand where that's a problem, right? All right, guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you guys subscribe. Give me your thoughts in the comments, guys. I really want to hear what you think on this subject. And also, if you have any other ideas, please send them to me. I love to do a video with them. Until next time, peace out.